The very popular midsize three-row SUV has become a staple in literally every brand. And then, of course, the luxury versions, which means you have a lot of choices. But the 2026 Mazda CX-90 slots between the non-luxury and the luxury. And part of that is what you see on the inside, and of course, those drive characteristics, which really make this vehicle stand out in the crowd. Mazda has always put together really nice vehicles. This is the largest one they make. It is three-row. If you want two-row, look at the CX-90, which is essentially the same thing, just no third row seats, and we'll show you how tight they are back there in just a second. First thing you're going to note, the vehicle itself looks the same as it did in 2025. What you're going to see is some details, minor details, a lot of really nice luxurious items like the chrome, and of course those LED headlights that are adaptive. Very nice features that are on this vehicle. Our test vehicle is rhodium white metallic, which is an additional $595. One of the nicest features about the Mazda CX-90 is it does have a 5-star top crash test rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, because safety is a very important item when you have an SUV. Standard safety includes automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, and adaptive cruise control. Our test vehicle also has the 360-degree view monitor, which I think is really important with a vehicle of this size. Under the hood of the Mazda CX-90, there are 3 engine choices: a 280 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque, and that's on the non-S trim levels. Our test vehicle is the S trim, which is 340 horsepower with premium fuel and 369 pound-feet of torque. There's also a plug-in hybrid variant that's available with 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Our test vehicle also has hybrid boost, an 8-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, and all-wheel drive. Fuel economy, 25 miles to the gallon combined, and a max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. Our test vehicle rides on 21-inch alloy wheels on all-season tires. You'll also notice a lot of black details and that inline 6 logo here on the side. Power folding side mirrors, and there is a gigantic panoramic roof with chrome roof rails. This vehicle is available in many colors, both interior and exterior. Warranty is 3 years, 36,000 miles with a powertrain of 5 years, 60,000 miles, and no basic maintenance is included. One of the reasons the Mazda slots between standard and luxury is, other than the base level, you're getting leather seating, which is unusual. A lot of manufacturers are offering synthetic, but once you've had leather seats, you'll see that they hold up better, and they're also less hot and less cold depending on the temperature. Also on the top trim levels, you can get Napa leather. And of course, it looks more luxurious, and there's some beautiful interior colors as well as exterior colors. Mazda's always been known for the coolest paint colors. The driver's seat is 8-way power adjustable, where the passenger seat is just 4-way and no lumbar is on the side. Both front seats are heated and vented, heated steering wheel, and there is memory seating for the driver's side. The select trim level, which is the entry level, has a 10.3-inch screen. Otherwise, you've got 12.3-inch screens, both the center here and the digital gauge cluster in front of you. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard across the full lineup. Standard is an 8-speaker audio system, but you can get the optional Bose system, which is 12 speakers, and it'll give you beautiful audio in this vehicle. Besides the soft materials that are inside the vehicle, which makes it more luxurious, you've got your climate control here and all of your settings, as well as the MyDrive, a standard shifter. Underneath this cover, you've got 2 cup holders, wireless charging, a connection for a radar detector or whatever you might need. Further back, you've got the dial, which would control the center screen. There is no touch screen. I'll show you that in the drive in just a second, and that is one of my negatives. I'd like to have that, but other than this, the materials are fantastic, and the aluminum and just the details are really premium. The second row offers standard bench seating, but optional captain's chairs are available. In addition, you've got an armrest with 2 cup holders built in, and the seats fold down 60/40. There are 2 child safety seat latch systems on the outboard seating. In addition, standard window screens, which are really important, especially if you've got little ones back here. And behind the center console, you've got 2 vents, 2 USB-C charge ports, heated seats, which are 3-stage, and pockets behind each of the front seats. The glass roof goes all the way back to about the middle of the second row. Entering the third row, you press the button down here, the seat folds forward, and you manually push it forward. The third row, as you can see, is quite tight. I'm 5'8", and I don't know if I could sit back here without my knees pushing up against the seat in front of me, which you could slide forward, but still, it's pretty tight. There is, however, 2 cup holders, USB-C charge ports, and the kids will love the third row. Adults, maybe not so much. Across the back, you've got a hands-free tailgate, a body color upper wing. The wiper blade, well, I wish it was tucked up underneath because they do get damaged in the winter that we're having here in Buffalo. And yes, it is very cold outside. And of course, very nice clean across the back. I do like the modern design. 16 cubic feet of storage with the third row up. Fold down that third row and you're at 40 cubic feet of storage. Folding down the second row is manual, and then you're at 75 cubic feet of maximum cargo space. Let's take this vehicle for a test drive. One of the really nice features with this vehicle, because it does include standard safety, is it does have front cross traffic alert. In other words, you're pulling out of a neighborhood, maybe you don't see a vehicle coming and it's going to be in your lane, it'll give you a notification right here in the center of this 12.3-inch center screen. Safety is priority on this vehicle, and there are plenty of nannies on this car. You can shut them off, but right now I have them all on because I want you to see what's available. And again, this is a personal preference, but this vehicle is a NHTSS, which is a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration 5-star crash test rating, which is the top rating. It does have start-stop technology, which drives me crazy. I like to shut it off, and that is on the left side of the steering wheel, down low. Shut it off. You save about a tablespoon of fuel, and also there's that gap, which is a safety factor. If you need to avoid a situation, you have to shut it off. Again, the federal government asked for them not to put it in. It's still in a lot of vehicles. And again, if you could shut it off and leave it off, I would. Now that we're out of the snowy neighborhood and we're onto the wet roads, this vehicle rides really nice on the wet roads. Now that we're off the snow, this vehicle is all-wheel drive as well. One of the first things you notice when you get in this vehicle is great visibility. Huge piece of glass out the front. The windowsills are a bit high, and again, that's a personal preference. People like to put their arms here. It is a bit high, but that's also a safety feature because obviously you want the metal to protect the passenger in case of an accident. But what is in front of you is a head-up display, and it has great information, including traffic sign recognition. You've got all of your gauges here in front of you, as well as that 12.3-inch center screen. Let's see how this does on the snow, which most people don't experience. So we'll go into this neighborhood that has not been plowed. Haven't started building homes here, so it makes for a really good test road. Pretty good traction in the winter. Now, I've been living in Buffalo most of my life. I've driven here my entire driving career, and it's one of those things you want to see how the vehicle handles. It does. You can feel that all-wheel drive, shifting the torque, shifting the traction to each corner on all-season tires. That's pretty good. I would say it's pretty equivalent to the other vehicles in this class, which I have also driven on this same snowy road. Again, if you're going to put your foot in it and give it a lot of gas, you're probably going to slide. But if you're being reasonable, you should have no problems driving this vehicle on any conditions. Again, if you're going to be in heavier winter snow like Buffalo, winter tires make the most sense. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about in this car, besides the gauges and some minor upgrades to this vehicle, because there really aren't a lot of changes for 2026, is this multimedia interface. It is a dial just behind the shifter, much like that of other brands. But if you want to switch to something on the screen, you cannot touch it. Mazda has always been big on you must use the dial. So whether you want to use the entertainment, which includes AM and FM, of course, satellite radio, your Bluetooth connection, you can do that. If you want to go back, it all has to be done through this center screen, which personally I find frustrating. It does have a lot of great information, although the black and white screen and this listing like this seems a bit dated to me. But if you're setting your vehicle up the same way you do every day, it probably won't be as big as an issue for many. Of course, you've got your Bluetooth here. You can connect your phone. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are here on the right. You can connect to them, but you can't touch them. But there is one exception. While using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can touch the screen, but you have to be stopped. If you're moving and driving, you cannot. And it's like super nanny safety, if you know what I'm saying. It's a little bit of a frustration. You've got your navigation here. Again, a bit dated. You might as well use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Your phone's always going to be the best. You can go into your settings. You've got your in-vehicle displays. If you don't like head-up display, which I personally like, you can put that down in the comments below. You can do your settings here, your sound settings, your safety features. And Some of the driver assist systems I think are fantastic. You've got audible, or you can get a steering wheel vibration, which I don't want a steering wheel vibration, so I am good with the audible. Your Mazda radar cruise control is excellent to have. Traffic sign recognition is here. Your speed limit, you can set that if you've got children, probably not a bad idea. Traffic sign recognition is there. Speed limit, I'm not going to put that on because you're not going that fast when it comes to driving in Buffalo winters. Anyhow, you've got your park assist, which I think is an excellent thing to have. Your view monitor, your safety alerts. You can go into there and you can make some changes. I really like the front cross traffic alert. I think that is very important, as well as rear, because there's a lot of times accidents happen. Visual and audible for blind spot detection. All of that can be set right here. Collision avoidance. Again, there are some I like and some I find to be too much. Lane keeping assist is good. Some of these mitigations frustrate me, and I will let you choose your own if you decide to buy a CX-90. There's one safety feature I find interesting. I've not seen this on any other brand. It's called pedal misuse alert. And it defines it there as alerts the driver when the accelerator and the brake pedals are depressed simultaneously. Now, unless you're doing a burnout and you're trying to do it on an automatic transmission, and this would not be the vehicle you would do that on, this would mean you weren't paying attention or you don't know how to drive. Interesting safety feature, but maybe that's why they're getting high crash test ratings. You've got all your information here. It's pretty basic. The audio system is fantastic. By the way, it is Bose 12 speaker. We do have the upgraded system. Further down, you've got your heated steering wheel, which I'm going to have on. My heated seats, which I definitely need on. Vented seats, both are 3-stage. All of your climate control is here. You've got the My Drive modes. You can see here in front of me on the steering wheel that your My Drive modes are sport. It changes all the gauges, which is very cool. And then in addition, you've got your normal mode, which also changes the gauges. And off-road, all right, let's be honest, this is not an off-road vehicle, but if you need to go on snowy roads, some dirty roads, maybe you're going to a campsite, this will be more than sufficient. But because it is snowing outside and it's Buffalo, we're going to keep it in normal mode for safety reasons. There's a hill descent next to the shifter. You've got the button for your camera, which you can turn on at any time. Wow, those heated seats do work, by the way. I'm turning those down real quick, which is excellent. You can shut that camera off. And then you've got your auto hold and your favorites. Split center console with 2 USB-C charge ports inside, plenty of charging throughout, storage in the doors and the glove box. There's no storage under the center console because this is an actual shifter. But overall, this vehicle is really nice, soft materials, very clean, very modern, and very luxurious for a midsize SUV. Handling is good, braking is good in this winter weather. You can accelerate. This is not a performance car, but it gives you enough performance to keep you safe on the road. Overall, this vehicle is as expected. Mazda makes a really nice driving vehicle. They've always been what I used to call zoom zoom. They don't use that anymore, but really that is what the vehicle is about. It gives you more of a performance feel that you don't get in a lot of the competitors, which is why I always say you need to take them for a test drive. And of course, don't forget to ask for that loyalty discount if you're staying with the brand, or a conquest discount if you're coming from another brand. There's more tips and ways to save money on my Car Coach Reports channel on YouTube. Also check out our syndicated radio show called The Drive with Lauren and Carl. It's also available in podcast platform, or you can watch it on our YouTube channel, The Drive Car Show. All right, let's talk about my pros and cons, the price, which is very important, and the long list of competitors. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the 2026 Mazda CX-90. On the plus side, I think the interior is premium and looks more like a luxury vehicle inside. And of course, the ride and the handling are always excellent when it comes to Mazda. On the negative side, that third row is kind of tight, and it still bothers me that that center screen is not touchscreen. I know it's one of the Mazda things, but all of their competitors allow for a touchscreen. Let's talk about the competitor list after I give you the price. The pricing starts at $40,330 and goes up to $58,900. Our test vehicle, which is the 3.3 Turbo Premium Plus, is $52,395. Now let's take a look at this very long list of competitors, starting with the Kia Telluride, the Ford Explorer, the Hyundai Palisade, the Volkswagen Atlas, the Toyota Grand Highlander, Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, Subaru Ascent, the Nissan Pathfinder, the Honda Pilot, and the Dodge Durango. Now, there are a lot of competitors. I highly recommend you test drive all of them. Check with your insurance agent before you make a final decision, because that's going to make a difference, because it's about replacement value and, of course, your driving record. The 2026 Mazda CX-90 competes in the mid-size SUV class. Now, since there are so many competitors that are non-luxury and luxury, the Mazda CX-90 slots right in the middle and offers some really premium features. You should take one for a test drive. There are more details in the description below, as well as my social media, and if you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thanks so much for watching.